It's a beautiful day today. I decided to bring all my Bourke parakeets outside and introduce you to all of them. This one is Rosie. Rosie is my very first Bourke parakeet, Rosie Bourke parakeet. So I named him Rosie, of course. And he's 17 years old. He'll be 18 in 3 months. I gotta trim your nails, don't I? He's tame. He was hand raised. He's a male. He's a beautiful boy. He's the one that got me hooked on all these Bourkes. And this one on the left, oh, look at that. This is Rascal. Rascal's a male. He's 7 years old. And this is actually Rosie's baby. They're feeding each other. Is that ever sweet? These are 2 males. Father and son. Is that ever cute? Look at that. Oh, so cute. This is Tinkerbell. She is a 3-year-old female Bourke parakeet, and she is Rascal's mate. This is Bling. Bling is a male Bourke parakeet. He's 4 months old, and he is the baby of Tinkerbell and Rascal. So Rosie is a grandparent. This is Rosie's grandbaby. And yeah, these are like a happy family over here. This one is Rosebud. Rosebud is the clutch mate to Bling. They are Tinkerbell and Rascal's babies. I got the 2 of them. There was 5, but 3 already got a home. Come on, sweetie. This one has a home as well. I'm trying to get her out of the cage so she can come out and join the rest. Come on. And look at her. She's really colorful. Hopefully you can see against the sun, but she has some blue and green on her tail, a little bit up her rump there, and she has yellow on her flight feathers. And this is Raindrop. She's a female. She's 7 years old. She is Rascal's clutch mate and Rosie's babies. So Rosie had 2 babies, Raindrop, and this is Rascal there. She's my most colorful Bourke. She's really pretty. Let's see if I can get her on my finger. No. Tinkerbell. Yeah, Tinkerbell's a little bit nasty. She chases everybody away, but she's my most colorful. She has a lot of... She's like a rainbow. Tinkerbell! There, look at this. You can see the colors on her. She's got green and blue and yellow. She's really pretty. Very beautiful. And this is Raspberry. He's 10 years old. He's not related to Rosie. He's my pinkest Bourke. You beautiful baby. Yeah, he's very tame. He's 10 years old. He's really pink. There he goes. And he is Raindrop's. Whoops. He's Raindrop's mate. This is Meadow. She's a year-old female. She is Rascal and Tinkerbell's baby. They had 2 babies. One got rehomed, and this one I kept. She's a really pretty girl as well. Come here, sweetie pie. Let me show everybody. Come. Up. There we go. Look at the blue on her, and the green. She's really pretty as well. Well, they're all beautiful. I like the ones with the colors in them. They're really pretty, and the dark pink. Look at you guys go. I'm going to get my mist bottle and mist them and see what they do. One was just sunning themselves. They stopped doing it. I didn't get it on film, but they were sunning over there where the sun is. Oh, maybe that's her now. To see where the sun is. And I find that Bourkes love to sun. They love to sun themselves in the sun. They go right in the sun and spread their wings. And oh, look at this. There, see? Oh, I think that's Rosie. Good boy, Rosie. Good boy. Yeah, they love to soak in the sun. They are so beautiful, nice birds. If you're new to these birds, well, I highly recommend them, but you know, they aren't for everybody. You have to really love them. They're much quieter than, say, a budgie. They just got little twitters. They do make a little bit more noise in the morning, in the evening, as that's when they're most have their energy. And they are called grasskeets, as they do spend a lot of their time foraging on the ground you know, in the wild especially, on the grass seeds. So when you have one of these birds in your home, you have to be prepared for them to land on the ground. Like in my bird room, they're always on the floor. I can always find them on the floor running around, picking up, you know, seeds that have fallen or any food, or just running around. So usually I do place a bowl of food on the ground and a bowl of water where they may take a bath or just drink water. So you have to be wary if you have, or you want one of these birds, if you have any other animals like a cat or even a dog, they can easily be grabbed because they do love to land on the floor. Oh, there's somebody on my head. Who is this anyways? Let's just see. Sometimes I can't tell them apart unless I see their band color and the colors of their rump. Which one are you? Seriously, don't know. Well, I think that was Meadow, the baby. Is it got a red band? Yeah, that was the baby Meadow. So one thing I want to mention too, my Bourke parakeets, I don't hand raise them. I handle them every day in the nest, and when they're young, I handle them a lot, teach them to step up, and they're used to humans. And from my experience, they stay tame. They don't turn wild like some birds might. Like my turquoisine parakeet was hand raised by me, and he's not that friendly anymore. I find that turquoisine parakeets don't really stay that friendly unless you have like 24 hours a day to spend with them and all that. But I find these cute little Bourkes, they kind of stay friendly, and when they have friends, you can see how they're pretty well friendly. They still, you know, will step up for me. Look at this. Oh, he's a good boy. Yeah, they don't turn wild, because some birds, when they get a partner, they just want each other. And look at him. He's almost 18 years old and he still steps up. Look at his nails. I got to trim them. So yeah, you do got to care for their nails, especially when they get older. None of them have actually had a beak overgrowth, but sometimes if they're misaligned, you might need to have them trimmed. Look how beautiful they are. See, that's the sounds they make. They don't scream, and they're not very destructive at all. Their beaks are very small. They can't really chew, you know, hardwood. But, you know, if they get a hold of your wall, they might be able to. But they're not like, you know, a big parrot where they can chew your house down. Even budgies, their beaks are stronger and they can chew a lot. See, this one's preening. And mine, anyways, they don't like to bathe too much. When they bathe, they like to hear the sound of running water and the sound of wind, like they do now. They feel the breeze on them, so it makes them preen. So I'm going to get my spray bottle out and see if they will actually enjoy it. When they bathe, I'm so happy because they don't really bathe a lot, and they get bathing opportunities every day. If one goes in, then the others might follow. And they're not really known for their talking. But you know what? One of mine does say, "Give me a kiss." That's Rascal. And, you know, I've talked to a lot of people and seen on Facebook groups of these birds that some will say a little bit, you know, a few words, but they're not known to be like a talker, like say an Indian ringneck would be, or a budgie. And some, though, learn how to whistle, to copy your whistle. If you teach them a whistle, especially when they're young, they will learn to whistle. And they're not very cuddly. They don't even like to be touched. Like they'll step up, like you see, land on me, be near me and everything. But I was never able to touch any of my Bourke parakeets. Let me know if you have one, and you can pet your parakeet. And I think the reason is because one interesting fact is they do not alloprene, like preen each other. They don't do mutual preening. I've never seen them do it. And if you research it, you'll read about that. That could be why they do preen themselves, like this little one, and they've never preened each other. And maybe that's why they don't like to be, well, preened by us or touched by us. But you can see them preening. They're getting excited. Probably want to have a bath. That would be great. And they do have whiskers. I want to see if I can get a close-up of one of them. What are you two doing? And yes, they can fight. Especially if they're paired up. Like when they were paired up, especially in the spring when they want to breed, they can be nasty to the other ones. So I used to have, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them in a flight cage. They get along great. But when you add more, the babies and the females and males, that the males would fight with the other males for the females. So you have to be cautious about that. They will fight for the females and with each other. Like Raspberry has beaten up Rosie before because he wanted to be with one of his little girlfriends there. And he plucked his feathers out. He pulled his feathers. It was sad, but Rosie's okay now. And it happens just now and then. They bicker. Tinkerbell, I find, is a little bit of a bully. She chases the other ones. So yeah, they don't always all get along. So if you get a lot of them, just make sure you get a lot of separate cages. Or if you have an aviary, like a huge aviary, bigger than this one, or in your house in a room, a big room, even in my bird room, they may chase each other and you know, pull each other's feathers out. So you have to be wary and watch them and separate them if it's a problem and let them out separately. But I wish I could just house them all together, but I can't. They will fight. All right, let's see if we can see the whiskers. I'm not sure if you can see them, but they're there. I do have a video on that about the whiskers on the Bourkes. But you can see them on the sear. They're little black whiskers. They have whiskers for sure. I think it's adorable. Not all birds have whiskers. And it's highly recommended to not clip their flight feathers, as they depend on their flight to get around. They're not like budgies where they'll climb the side of the cage to get, you know, perch to perch. They need to fly to it, you know, hop to it, not really hop, but they actually gotta fly to the next perch, as you've seen them flying in here. I rarely ever see them on the side of the cage, like crawling up using their beak. They might attach to it, and if they do have clipped wings or they have no choice, they might try, you know, to get around on the side of the cage. But it's really important that they have their flight feathers where they can fly back and forth. And when you're picking a cage for your Bourke parakeet, the length, like horizontal length, is more important than the height, because they need to fly back and forth to their perches. You don't want to get those tall, thin cages where they need to go up like a helicopter, right? You need them to fly across, you know, like this. This is, I think this is 40 inches. I can't remember honestly, but usually they like to fly, you know, from that perch to this perch to the next perch. There's one above my head. And yeah, that's what they do. So I highly recommend never clipping their wings. Even when they're babies, I find these birds are easily tamed. They're not really that skittish. You might get the odd one that might be really terrified and skittish if they're a parent raised and never saw a human before. But I find they're a little bit different than budgies or cockatiels or conures. They're very like docile, calm. And what I do to tell them apart from male and female is I do the DNA sexin test to see if they're male and female. Now these are a mutation color. The normal colored Bourkes, you can tell if they're male and female when they mature, because the males will have a little bit of blue on their brow above their cere. But on the rosy colored Bourkes, they don't really get much blue. But sometimes I find that the males, this one's a male, has a more pink, like more pink on the head, and the females, this is a female, yes, the head is more gray, like on the cheeks. Where are you? That's what I find, but you won't know till they're mature. Yeah, see, this one's a female, but she's pretty young. Her head's more gray. No, I don't know who's who. Actually, look, this is Rosie, and he's a male, but actually he does have blue. He's the only one that has blue on it. It's not above his brow though, it's on his face. He's really pretty. But sometimes it is hard to tell the males and the females. But if you have a whole bunch of them like I do, sometimes what I find is the females are a little bit smaller, like slimmer, and the head is a little bit smaller than the males. But this is a male, he's a big boy. Rosie's a male, he's a big boy. Who wants a bath? Anybody? You see how calm they are? So they're pretty docile, and they sometimes just sit around like this. That's why some people don't like them. They say they're boring. But, well, I enjoy it, obviously. But if you want a bird that's all like hyper and, you know, on you in your face, always playing, doing stuff, then, well, these birds aren't for you. These are more calm, docile birds, and they're great for if you live in an apartment or if you don't like a lot of noise. I've got my misting bottle. Oh, don't be scared, sweetie. What I do is I put warm water in here, and then I'll mist them in one area, and we'll see if they come toward it or fly away. But sometimes they like to just fly like through the mist. Just gonna make sure it doesn't blow back on me on my camera. Who wants a bath? You, Tinkerbell? That's Tinkerbell over there on the right. Whee! You want? Oh, someone's coming. This is Rosie. Hey, Rosie. Oh, I gotta trim your nail. I'm gonna get the nail cutter and trim it. Oh, I think Tinkerbell likes it. She walked right through it. You like that, Tinkerbell? Whee! Usually I have a mister hooked up on the back of the aviary, but just didn't hook it up this year. It's been so hot this year that I rarely even put my birds out here. But now, today's a nice day. It's around 25, 26 degrees Celsius. What's that, around 80 or something? So it's a very nice day. Woohoo! No? Nobody? Here we go. This is about how much they get excited. Woohoo! You can go in the bath down there. Raspberry, what about you? They're kind of preening up there. Oh, Rosie was down there. Are you going to take a bath? They like to stay up high, though. I don't know if they'll go down there when they're in the aviary. Oh, Rosie, I got to clip your nails, baby. Alright, that's it. The excitement's over. Look at them all in a row. Except for you. You're out of line. I brought a surprise guest. This is Beauty. Beauty is a turquoisine parakeet. He's actually the foster father of one of my babies here, named Meadow, because Meadow's parents did not want to feed the babies. There was two of them, but one found a home. I still have Meadow. So Meadow really likes him. She thinks, well, he's her father. I just got to see which one is Meadow. Meadow? Well, anyways, when he comes out, sometimes Meadow will follow him around, then we'll know which one's Meadow. Come on! He loves the sun, but unfortunately the sun looks like it's not shining this way. It's going back there. So Beauty came out. Look at him, he's the most colorful. He's so beautiful. Most of them are having a snooze. I trimmed Rosie's nails. They look much better now. I cut Raspberry's nails as well. They're starting to get a little bit active now. You're eating a little bit? Landed on the phone. This is Meadow. This is Meadow. That's your daddy over there. That's your daddy. There. She usually follows him around. I think she just realized he was here. They're having a big fight. Why are you two beaking? Well, that's Tinkerbell, you're nasty. She's the nastiest one. You're the nasty. Actually, that's her husband. Is that your husband? Yeah, it is. She's mad at him. What did you do wrong? Yeah, these two are a couple.